Dirty pants, clean body. Dirty pants, clean body.
Well, you haven't even started out in the right place, have you? I mean, you're not even making an effort. One moment, darlings. There you go. There you go. Let's have a look at you. How are you looking? Perfect. Absolutely lovely. Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome to Monday Night Live with me, the Reverend Tosser, according to some of you. Well, is this a thing now? Is this a thing where you're all just going to spend the whole of each and every live stream calling me a tosser? Mike, I blame you for this. It's all your fault. But yeah, a warm welcome to Monday Night Live with me, coming live into your eyes and ears direct from Windy Bottom, here in the Peak District National Park. Oh, nice. How are you, darlings? How was your weekend? And who have I got here? Simon. Oh, and he has, excuse me, Simon has kicked off proceedings with one of his celebrated haikus, which I will read for you very shortly after this refreshing sip of my glass of Vimto. Vimto when it's too early to be drunk. I enter a room. I then stand and I think. No clue why I'm there. Yes. Sentiments with which those of us of a certain age will be only too familiar. Unless it's at a bathroom, of course. Now, if you've entered the bathroom, there are probably relatively few reasons why you did so. And I would imagine you could narrow them down quite quickly. I mean, my first thought would be, do I need to go to the lavatory? And, you know, that's a fairly easy assessment for you to make, isn't it? Or am I planning to have a bath? Well, is the bath full of water? Am I planning to have a shower? Well, am I naked and dirty? Or do I need to brush my teeth? Is my mouth minging? You know, I'm sure you can work it out. But yeah, sometimes more multifunctional rooms, you can quite understand that. Andrew is amongst us and says, he was anyway. Have a wonderful live stream, everyone. Back to work for me. And Andrew is, of course, known to some of us as Ivor Spotty Botty. And he's one of our Antipodean chums. Joe Cox, the lovely Joe Cox, is here and says, good evening, everyone. Hope you are all well and had a splendid day, apart from the weather. The weather has been bloody awful, hasn't it? Hasn't it? Hasn't it? Hasn't it, though? Hasn't it been awful? absolutely bloody awful, the weather. What about the weather? It's been awful. Absolutely dreadful. Awful weather, I thought. Absolutely awful. How has the weather been where you are? I can tell you that wherever I've been, and I've been in more than one place today, the weather has been absolutely bloody awful. Now then. Yes, and Barry, that guy from SETI Alpha 5 is here. Hello, people. Hello, Boaty, you tosser. I mean, you know, hello, minister of the church here, and yeah. Oh dear. Good evening, all, says Bad Books. Good evening, one and all, says Sounds Vintage. Ben says, good evening song. Oh, sorry, that should be good even song, one and all. Oh yes, and to the Reverend Tosser. Well, at least you got my title in there with the insult as well, Ben. Thank you for that. General Cheeseburger, whose name is all green and who has a little badge next to his name, says, evening members, making the point that good old Cheeseburger has joined the phalanx of channel members to whom I am extremely grateful. And there is now, of course, an entirely new channel of, an entirely new tier. I mean, you know, just get the words to white. Jesus Christ above. Right, clearly I've lost the capability of sentient speech. There is a new tier of channel membership available. It's called City Rover, and it's only 99p a month, and for that you get some wonderful things. You get your name in green, you get a little badge next to your name, you get to see the daily diaries as soon as they're uploaded. You get to use the special emojis in live streams, and that's it. You get sod all else. You don't get any of the good stuff that, you know, all of those posh lot get. You know, the club members and the, shit, what are my tiers? Club, I've completely forgotten what they are. The classic, Club SE and Connoisseur. Anyway, they get really good stuff, they do. They get Momo and cake and massages and, and they get the drive it days where you can all come here. I make you lunch and you can drive my cars. Film it days where we can all get together and do filming collaborations and all that sort of wonderful thing. But there you are, there you are. Channel membership is now available from just 99 of the King's new pence. And like the man who couldn't pronounce the letters F, T or H, you can't say fairer than that. Trisha Alderman is with us, and that is always nothing less than a joy. Good evening, everyone, says Trisha. Hope you have had a good day. Did all go well at Boyce's car lot today? Oh, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one before. Although I did get called Boise a lot when I had an Aquascutum double Crombie in camel. I was incredibly fond of that overcoat. Yeah, it did used to, I used to get a bit of stick for it. I mean, it was a bit Arthur Daly. I mean, I have a beautiful overcoat now that I never get to wear because I never wear a suit, and it's a very formal overcoat and it's absolutely lovely. It's a designer one, I forget which name it is. It was horrendously expensive. It probably doesn't fit me anymore. I haven't worn it for about 8 years. Anyway, it's there in the cupboard, you know. I might try it on one day, you know, if I ever decide to take up flashing as a hobby. You never know. Oh yeah, did all go well? Yes, all went well at the car lot today. Car lot? Yard of Dreams. The lovely I mean, I might get knackered today. I might not make it until midnight because it has been an even longer Monday today than normal. I had to get up a little bit earlier. I'm so sorry. Oh, Vimto burp. Yeah, because this morning I collected the lovely Rob from the station. He was a little bit late, but hey, I was actually early. Can you believe that? I was early. And then we drove through dreadful weather to the Yard of Dreams, but yeah, all went well. The second part of the day, which was going down to the Black Country to buy a car, didn't happen, there was no time. We were having too much fun. Rob didn't go until about 6 o'clock, I think. I think it was about 6 o'clock where we saw Fanny's sexy arse shuffle its way out of the yard. So that's going to happen on Wednesday now, the next car buying adventure, all being well. Only one Welshman can call another Welshman a tosser, says Boaty, and there is some truth in that. Pingu Concord says hi, and I've got something to say to Pingu Concord, and that is a very big thank you for my little bag of goodies that Mustard did remember to hand over. So thank you, Pingu, that was really thoughtful. Especially, bless you, you do watch my videos, don't you? Pingu watched my video where I didn't have a 15 amp fuse, and in my little bag of goodies he put a bag of fuses in there, including some 15s. And there's a nice Rover handbook wallet, which is lovely, in burgundy, a splendid colour, I'm sure you'd agree, and a proper aerial. And that is a really, really thoughtful and useful thing, because you might have looked at the aerials on the MGF, the Rover 25, the Land Rover Fräulein, and thought, that's quite a long aerial, is that? And guess what? They're that long for a reason. Because if you take it off, or it breaks or whatever, and you replace it with one of those modern stubby ones of that sort of length, your radio reception is crap. And you can't listen to the Archers in a lot of places. And, you know, that's no good for anybody, is it? And while I'm on the subject of the Archers, hot lesbian action on the Archers. What is going on with the BBC? What is going on with the world? I do not listen to the Archers to get hot lesbian action. Thank you very much. Dear BBC, please have a word with yourselves. The Archers and Radio 4 in general should be the last vestige of civilization for people like me who, okay, we live in the world, we have to accept that the world has changed, but we remain somewhat Victorian in our views. And, you know, lesbianism has got a place behind closed doors, between consenting adults, and on the internet for perverts of all shapes and flavours. It has got no place on the Archers, and I'm unanimous in saying that I think you would all agree with me on that. But thank you very much, Pingu, that's really, really appreciated. Ashley Stewart is amongst us, and waves Black Lions is here and says evening all. Pingu says, did Fanny get home safely? I don't know, Pingu. Rob has promised to pop up onto the live stream and let us know. Vimpto says, cheeseburger, no wonder your teeth are falling out. Sugar-free, dear boy. I don't do sugar except in coffee. All of my drinks are sugar-free drinks, apart from coffee, which is laden with it, but at least it's the raw Demerara cane sugary business. And now I'm doing this with my hands, and I've got no idea why. Somebody has done a nice thing. I've got a green flash at the top of my page. Somebody has done a nice thing, and oh, it's Skick! Skick has become a channel member. Skick, thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful to you. And yeah, I'm glad you got it sorted out. I know you've been trying for a little while, and now you've done it. Oh, marvellous. Well, what a lovely beginning to the live stream. My favourite intro, and one of my loveliest viewers is now a channel member. That's brilliant. Sophie is with us, Sophie Richardson, the lovely Sophie, who I've had the pleasure of her and her other half's company, and you might have seen them at the, what's that? Hold on, is that another thing no, it's a different thing, and I haven't got it. It's popped up on there, and it hasn't popped up on here, so I don't know what that is. Maybe it'll pop up in a minute. Anyway, Sophie's here, and that's lovely. Ben says, wishing the Rob that was hot Rob, wishing the Rob that was not Rob, that is Rob, a safe and pleasurable passage in his fanny. And Blackline says, this comment will be read out at 11:45 p.m. I'm doing my best to keep up. Leave me alone. Stop picking on me. Jada and Everything Cars is here and says, evening all. Weather, says Cheeseburger. I've been watching the Speedway from Manchester. The riders look like mud wrestlers. Oh dear, they all look like morph, did they? Oh, this message is held for review and it's from Jaden. It's going to be filth. The weather's been shit. Well, it certainly has. Short and to the point there, Jaden. Pingu says, bless you, your reverence. Yes, that's what I like, a bit of bloody deference. Hi, everyone, says Soph. How is everyone? And hello, Boaty. How's your weekend been? Well, I'd love to hear about all of your weekends. Do tell me what you've been up to. I'd love to hear about what you've been doing, what you ate. Did you get drunk? Did anything almost fall on your head? Did you wear the same pair of socks for 2 days running? Anything you've got to tell me, really. Anything at all. Did you meet somebody for the very first time? Did you pass some really interesting looking allotments? And what was your favourite vegetable of the weekend? Oh, that should be a feature. Boaty's vegetable of the day. Now, my favourite vegetable of the weekend was, and I don't mind telling you this, oh yeah. Oh, look, I caught it. Look at that. How professional am I? I should be on television. That was my favourite vegetable. What was your favourite vegetable of the weekend? Where's that gone? I need to be putting this in the fridge. That can go up there on top. Oh, and I've got curry for supper. I know you'll be interested to know. Oh, and for lunch, which was courtesy of the lovely Rob, I had, it was Istanbul. That's going to come as no surprise to any of you, is it? I had the kebab with chips, extra salad, chili sauce, and a can of Diet Pepsi. Isn't it? Thank you so much. So, how was your weekend, Sophie? You're very kindly asking about all of us. How was your weekend? Did you get to spend some quality time with Neil? Or was he busy being the fourth emergency service for all of his lovely members? Oh, and can you ask him to have a word with the powers that be and tell them if they don't stop charging me 50-something quid a month, I'm going to resign my membership again and rejoin so I get it at a decent rate. City Rover 99p, says Joe. Absolutely. Oh, Simon, that's very kind. Simon has continued his subscription. Either that or he's added a second. Well, either way, thank you very much indeed, Simon. Very much appreciated, as you know. Oh, and Simon, while I've got you, at some point when you're free, I would like to do some filming on Henning at some point. You tell me when would be best. But I'd like to do a kind of update on an ex-fleet member and just show what you've done to improve her. Now, I don't know if that's the kind of thing that you'd want to do now, or if you want to wait until you've made some more improvements. But I would love to do that. And, you know, we need to get you in some of my cars as well. I can't remember what you've driven them. Have you driven any of mine? I'm not sure that you have. We need to sort that out. City Rover for 99p, says Cheeseburger. Sounds like a fair swap. It's getting dark a lot earlier now, says Blacklines. Well, yeah, I mean, the summer solstice was back on June the 21st, wasn't it? I mean, it's, you know, the year is just stampeding away now. I've kind of done nothing that I planned to do. Haven't been to the seaside, haven't been to Llandudno, haven't been home to South Wales. I've done nothing. Nothing at all except for be poor and make videos. And, you know, it's going to be the end of August tomorrow and it's going to be Christmas next week. Where's it gone? And we're back into another winter, which is going to last for about 3.5 years. You know, summers whiz by in the flash of an eye. Winters take forever. Oh, right. Well, Sophie's going to enjoy herself tonight. She hasn't got Neil taking over the bloody bed. Now, right, here's a feature. In your experience, who are the bed hoggers? Men or women? Because I've never been a bed hogger, and I've spent all of my relationships perched precariously on the edge of a bed because the woman has been all over the place like a pair of mad woman's drawers. Now, Boo, who, as you know, was, you know, very compact, cheap to run and easy to store. You know, Boo was a little 5'1" thing, size 6. So, you know, in a bloody great big bed shouldn't be a problem. I never had any bed. I never had any covers. She was like a bloody, well, I don't know what she was like. She was like a miniature bed ninja. And in my experience, all women have been the same. I've literally spent entire relationships clinging onto the side of the bed for dear life, trying not to be pushed off entirely. I think that women must go to a training school or college somewhere where they get lessons in how to be a scary bed ninja and just, you know, I mean, they get, is it just me or do all women automatically get 80% of the bed and 80% of the clothes? Ugh. Now then. Oh, talk of the devil, says Sophie. Look who's here, Neil. Hello all, hope you're well. And we hope you're well, Neil. Thank you for joining us. Cheeseburger says, how many hours warranty did you give Rob? Would he have made it home? 5 yards or 5 minutes, whichever came sooner. Well, I mean, let's hope that all is well. He hasn't contacted me to complain yet, and we were very good. We talked him through the car and we checked his levels and everything and made sure that everything was okay. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure we even put a quarter of a tank of petrol in it for him. And when I say that we put a quarter of a tank of petrol in it for him, what I mean is that the previous buyer brought the car back with a quarter of a tank of petrol and we didn't siphon it out. So that was a schoolboy error on our part, wasn't it? So yeah, he's got, I mean, quarter of a tank of fuel. You can go on your holidays with that. So I'm sure he got home perfectly all right. And if I suddenly get a message to say that he didn't, I will be finishing this live stream a lot earlier than expected. Hopefully he'll pop up any minute now. What does His Highness consider to be the best colour for one's shoes? Right, an interesting question from Pingu there. Well, let's see, shall we? Well, it depends on the occasion, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, for formal wear, then it has to be black. Obviously, for black tie, then it needs to be patent leather. I would remind you that a gentleman never wears slip-on shoes. Brown shoes are just about acceptable for day wear, but they should, of course, never be matched with a blue suit. And well, that's it, really, isn't it? I mean, shoes should be black or brown. There are no real options otherwise. You know, a nice pair of brown brogues for day wear, and then formal black for evenings, I would say. But again, let me remind you, gentlemen, this is aimed at you. A gentleman never wears slip-on shoes or a clip-on bow tie. Remember that, and you won't go too far wrong. Evening, O gaseous one, says Stephen S. Paul, and the rest of you. Oh, charming. Well, Harsh but fair, I would suggest. Right, Barry says, how can you have hot lesbian action on a radio show? All you'd hear is munching and moaning, surely. Munching and moaning. Well, okay, I mean, it wasn't exactly a scene from some kind of porn film, but it was referenced. They did things during camping. I say hot lesbian action, it was only a kiss, so they say. But I've just got a feeling that it's going to end up going a bit further, and I'm a bit worried about it. And it came as a surprise, because I genuinely didn't know that either of them were lesbiotics, or to be fair, at least one of them has had male partners, so I suppose that means they must be bifocal, which, I understand that in this current modern day and age, people get up to whatever they want with whoever they want, and I support that. But I'm an old man, it all seems a bit confusing to me. So let them crack on with it. Good luck to them. It's not for me, to be perfectly honest, and I don't want it on the Archers. On the Archers, the omnibus goes out on Sunday morning. For goodness sake, the Lord's Day, the Sabbath. You can't have lesbionics on the Sabbath. Well, I suppose if you are if you are of that persuasion, then I'm sure you could get up to things on a Sunday. In many ways, a Sunday would be a good day for it, wouldn't it? Because presumably, neither of you would have to go to work. I think the majority of people don't work on a Sunday, although that's something else that has changed, isn't it, in this modern world? Sundays used to be sacrosanct. Shops were shut, and now it just seems like another day of the week. But if they did get up to that sort of thing on a Sunday, then, it's going to be quiet, private, behind closed doors, as I mentioned. Surely the world hasn't got to a place where Radio 4 broadcast that sort of thing on a Sunday morning. I'm not being funny, right? Look at the weather outside. Look at the month we've had, right? Floods and fires. Floods and fires. Well, if you don't think that's God saying, look, I'm not happy about a few things here. How much more do you need to see before you and the BBC mend your ways, you lot? Are you waiting for pestilence, frogs, locusts, plagues? Mend your ways, that's what I say. Get up to whatever you want on a Sunday morning, but don't put it on Radio 4, because God doesn't like it, and that's pretty obvious. I would like to be out driving my convertible sports car, thank you very much, and I can't because of you selfish people getting up to your same doing marital pottering activities on a Sunday morning on Radio 4. No wonder God's annoyed. Dear me. I don't pay my licence fee for that. Strictly speaking, of course, I don't pay my licence fee full stop. And now I'm jolly glad that I don't. Dear me. Oh, another one, health review. That's splendid. Where did I get to? I'm not reading that out, Barry. God almighty, no wonder all of my bloody live streams get demonetised. Lesbians on the Archers, says Cheeseburger, who is a channel member, I'll have you know. Well, that justifies the licence fee. Oh, dear me. Oh, hello, Mike's here. Classic Wheels Wales. Evening, Jason, you tosser. And good evening, humans. And a very good evening to you, Mike. I hope you're well. Then we've got my little thing saying that Skick has become a member, a channel member. His name will be all green now and he'll have a little badge. And let me point out that no City Rover channel membership for Skick. No. Straight into club. Blackline says someone on the Archers team must have watched a Boaty story time. Yeah, but that's on a Saturday night. That's on a Saturday night at like midnight that I did those. And I'm not on Radio 4. There is a difference. I mean, this is YouTube. You expect filth. God almighty. Literally. Although I must confess that last bedtime story I did was absolutely beyond the pale. I mean, I disgusted myself with that one. That was absolutely, I won't repeat the plot for you. It's outrageous. And whoever wrote that, quite frankly, should be put down. Joe, the lovely Joe Cox. I've just read what you put, Joe. Joe has now been a channel member for 3 months. I'm very grateful to him. And he, so we get a little anniversary notification thing. And he has said 3 months supporting a tosser. Thanks, Joe. God almighty. Is this what my live stream YouTube career is going to be? I come on 4 nights a week out of the goodness of my heart, and you lot all just call me. Hey, it's like that Harry Enfield sketch, isn't it? Do you remember the original Harry Enfield television programme? And there was that game show with Wayne and Waynetta, Call Me Wanker. Wanker, wanker, wanker. It's starting to get a bit like bloody that. But thank you, Joe, for 3 months of channel membership support. Cheeseburger says, evening Mike and well done Skick. Good job Skick, says Stephen S. Paul. Skick is in the club, says Ben. Diddly-doo. And Mike is asking, where is Matt, the stick man? And Cheeseburger says, Mike, we haven't seen Matt since the controversial live last week. Well, I saw him on Mustard's live where he got another little dig in, but there we are, hey ho. I got another one in return. It wasn't my own live, so I could let go of it. Dear. What is your opinion, says Skick, of the YouTuber Cycling Mikey? I have watched some of his videos, Skick, to be completely honest with you. What's my opinion of him? Oh, God. I got to think about this. What's my opinion of him? Well, he's got a thriving YouTube channel that I presume he makes reasonably decent money from. So, fair play to him for that. I wouldn't call him a cyclist, he's a bike rider. And if you don't know Cycling Mikey, he rides around on his bicycle whilst filming, and he looks for people doing things wrong in cars, and then he confronts them and sends off the footage to policeman Badger and gets them done. I think his biggest catch was Chris Eubank, wasn't it? Chris Eubank using his phone while in his Range Rover or Bentley or something. I don't know what to think about that. What do you lot think about it? Yeah. Oh, hello. Has another nice thing happened? Ashley Stewart, another channel member. This is fantastic. Ashley, thank you so much. And welcome to channel membership. My God, my daily diary videos can get into double figures. That's wonderful. What do you think about the YouTuber Cycling Mike Skick? Let me throw it back at you. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to knock him for doing what he does. You know, rules are there. If you choose not to follow them, then these things can happen, I suppose. I mean, I'll say this for him. The guy's got some balls. He'll stand there while they actually try and run him over. So, yeah, there we are. Jaden says it's my Oxford's 70th birthday today. That's his Morris Oxford. And I saw that on Facebook. So happy birthday to your car. Scarlet Runnerbean says Bad Books. Sophie has just been chilling, but at my mum's tonight and babysitting 2 dogs of my sisters. Oh, and we're trying to explain to Mike what happened last week. Lots happened, says Joe, and he hasn't been back since. Cheeseburger says, Mike, a debate on channel membership. Matt doesn't agree with it, despite contributing more than the cost of membership in gifts. Yeah. Oh, God, somebody else. Who's that now? Oh, done that one. This one. Oh, Sounds Vintage. Thank you, Sounds Vintage. My very first City Rover member. Oh, we're properly up and running now. Oh, this is brilliant. This is really exciting. Thank you so much, everybody. I spoke at length last week about how much I appreciate the support. I told you exactly what difference it makes. So I won't bore you all with that again, but just remember that I am really, really appreciative. Cheeseburger says, oh yeah, I did that, didn't I? Skick says he goes around filming people in traffic jams on their phone. I know, I have seen them, Skick. Blackline says, I think Matt got a bit hot under the collar about membership fees, despite it being optional. And Joe says, also moaning about videos and then told Jason to give it all up. He did. He did, actually. Although he did that under the guise of Roger Boaty. Yeah, if you didn't realise, and I'm sure you all did, Matt was Roger Boaty. And before he disappeared as Matt, he came on as Roger Boaty, told me to give it all up, and then disappeared as Roger Boaty as well. So there we are. There we are. It's a shame. It's a bit unnecessary, but what can you do? What can you do? Tell us some more cycling stories, please, says Pingu. Well, what would you like to know? Oh, God, I'll try and think of some. Excuse me. Cheeseburger says, Boaty's favourite vegetable is mustard. Stephen S. Paul telling us what's been going on at the weekend. I bought a bunch of old cars for the boss at work using his money. Oh, that's good fun. Oh, Mike has got an opinion on cycling Mikey, and he thinks he's a tosser. Oh, dear. Duck is my... What? Duck, says Stephen S. Paul. Duck is my favourite vegetable. Right, okay. Update on a fleet member, says Cheeseburger. Isn't that like asking for a go on an old girlfriend? Oh, come on. Which of us hasn't done that? Which of us hasn't done that? You always have a, well, I think you do, don't you? Isn't that a thing? There's a name for it. I forget what it is, but it might be an American thing, but I remember this, that after you split up, there's an official name for it, and basically you're allowed to have one go on each other after you split up, and it's called, I can't remember what it was. I bet one of you knows. I bet one of you will know. But no, I don't think it's exactly like asking to have a go on an old girlfriend. Or is it? Or is it? No, I don't think it is. Joe says, I saw it in the Daily Diary about Wetleg's MOT. Yeah, my bad. 100% my bad. Sounds like my mum. She drove around for 3 months with no mop. I'll let you know, Boaty, says Simon. She's in for sill work and MOT this week. Oh, does she need sills? I need to pick up that seat cover and key as well. A driving day would be fun. Yeah, I have still got the seat cover. I haven't thrown it away. think I have anyway. And I did find the key, didn't I? And I put it somewhere safe. No idea where. I think it's in one of the top drawers. Yeah, I feel like the year has flown by, says Black Lines. Sophie says that men are the biggest culprits at bed hogging, and she's of course wrong. Oh, especially Neil. Well, okay, well, let's see what everybody else has got to say on that. Simon says, I think you'll find that most people will say the opposite sex read bed hogging, as most share one with the opposite sex. Well, not in the bloody Archers they don't, not when they're out camping. Dear me. Men, says Joe, we like to spread out. Blackline says, we haven't really had much of a summer so far. We haven't really, have we? Perched on the... I'm not reading that out, Cheeseburger. Oh, dear. Good evening all, says Adam Pure Evil. Shoes should be all the colours, says Simon. Well, no, they shouldn't. John Maruzzi, channel member, says Oxblood Dr. Martens are awesome and black, of course. Simon says Pingu does, says Pingu. Ow. Yeah. I like Crocs, says Black Lines. I don't get them. Should Mustard have multicoloured shoes for driving Nigel? No, I think that would be a bit of overkill, wouldn't it? That would be a bit of overkill. I think actually it'd be more effective to drive Nigel in a pinstripe three-piece banking suit. I think that would be more amusing because the incongruity would be quite funny. I'm surprised Boaty did not mention silver shoes. Well, on a man, certainly not. Mike says, I only wear Doc Martens, best boot and shoe ever. Simon say, oh right, I'm talking about that. I can't read that out, Cheeseburger. God. Radio 4 play, say Simon, and I'll read that out because that's clever. Oh, God almighty, you lot. Black Lines. Oh. Breakfast for two with a horrible view. Right, I can't read that out either, Barry. Bloody hell. Where's my automated moderator that's supposed to clear the timeline of all this filth? Oh, dear, yeah. I might listen to it now, says Black Lines. Oh, God, am I going to turn you all on to the Archers? Honestly, I was amazed. I was amazed. That's what I was. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I missed it. I mean, I will admit, right? I missed it actually happening. I tuned in, I think it was last night. I tuned in tonight as well. But I tuned in last night and it was the awkward day after where they kind of meet up the next day and they have to kind of address what happened because I'm not sure that either of them knew that the other person was willing to have a bash at batting for the other side, which I think I addressed this in the caravan once with Mustard, talking about that sort of thing, and I had an outraged viewer. Oh, do you remember? He came on the live stream afterwards. It was fine in the end. He apologised, but do you remember that? Mustard and I were accused of being raving homophobes, and we thrashed it all out in the live, and we all ended up as friends. But yeah, Radio 4, the Archers. I mean, you know, I'm kind of hoping they do crack up. No, I can't say that. Dear me. Happy birthday to the Oxford, says Cheeseburger. I like the video on the spray job. Oh, Simone is here, hooked on classics. A man goes to the butcher. The butcher points to some steaks and says, bet you £10 you can't touch that. No thanks, the stakes are too high. That's not a bad one, actually. Cheeseburger disagrees. She says, Simone, that's awful. And, oh yeah, that was Ashley joining. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you again. Has anyone seen Travis and Sigrid the cat riding around London? Well, I haven't, but I'm sure somebody else has. Phone drivers need their fingers chopped off, says Simone, who, once again, is showing that she has a very stern attitude towards what she considers, or what we all consider to be wrongdoing. I seem to recall that, I can't remember what it was last time. I think she wanted shoplifters to be set on fire or something. Or was it people driving, it was a certain car, wasn't it? And I can't remember what it was. She'll remind me. Cycling Mikey, says Cheeseburger, similar to Jeremy Vine. They don't show bikers breaking the rules of the road, though. Well, interesting. I'll be lurking, says Simon, probably fall asleep. Then they're talking about this, then they're talking about the doings. What they're talking about? Oh, yeah, whatever that thing was. Somebody with a cat riding around London. Don't know anything about that. Cheeseburger says, it looks like Matt's idea of a cheap tier for membership was a good one. Did he actually come up with that idea? I thought I came up with it. And, in fact, I know I did. And I asked you all if you thought it was a good idea. So, don't give Matt credit for that. It was my idea. I rang a local builder and said, I want to skip outside. He said, I'm not stopping you. God, Simone's on form tonight. Friends with benefits, says Barry. Well, they're the best sort. Cheeseburger says, friends on benefits for most of us. Oh, God almighty. Blackline says, I rang the Tourette's helpline earlier and all I got was an earful of abuse. Oh, Sophie, bless you. All that matters is we're all here supporting Boaty. You are indeed, and I'm very grateful. Mike says, bring back the effing stickman for goodness sake. Well, that's not something that I or any of us are capable of. If he wants to come back, he'll come back. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Skick says, I think we all break some rules now and then. And we have government bodies like the police to prosecute. For me, he's a nasty git that gets a kick out of upsetting people. And an income out of it as well, because he must earn a few quid from his YouTube channel. Oh, well done, Cheeseburger. Video title, Never on a Sunday. Let's screenshot that. It is, of course, your job this evening, as during every live stream, to come up with an amusing and interesting name for it without being too filthy. I can't read that out. Skick, I'll get into trouble. Thanks, Mike. Video title, another load of toss. Pure Evil says, 2 fish in a tank. One says to the other, how do you drive this thing? Oh, this is quite a good one. Sounds vintage. Video title, in for a penny, in for 99p. I quite like that. Joe says, Jason came up with the idea. Matt, yeah, I know it. I did. Why is turtle wax so expensive? Asks Simone. Turtles have tiny ears. Bloody hell, what is this? Bad joke night. Well, come on. Let's run on with this. Show me, throw your worst jokes at me. I was going to get some more Vimto then, but it's almost wine o'clock, isn't it? That's nice. And I'm really looking forward to my curry tonight. Right, here we go. You're okay, Joe, bless you. Rob is here. Rob is here and says, good evening all. So, so we're all... I imagine everybody's going to be asking Rob about his... thank goodness Rob made it home. We don't know he's made it home, do you, Cheeseburger? He could be sitting in a lay-by somewhere. Right, Rob, everybody's been asking, so we're all waiting for your fanny update, please. And oh, guys, you're gonna be seeing a lot of Rob if you haven't already. Some of you will have seen him in this afternoon's live stream. You will also see him in the daily diary, and you will see him, of course, in the lunch video. Oh, here we go. I did, thanks. No problems at all. Drove perfectly. My fanny is fine. And Cheeseburger says, how are the AA, Rob? Shut up, Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is one of the people that I really want to meet and have lunch with or have a pint with. Because it's a bit like Mustard and, well, quite a lot of you actually, Mike and Simon. You're piss-taking bastards, but you're so funny with it. You know what? I would love to have a proper get-together with all of you live stream guys. All of the, bloody hell, 34 people. That must be a record for me. That's getting up towards Mustard numbers, is 35. 35! Goodness gracious me. Well, gosh. Yeah, I'd love to have a get-together with all of you guys, all of the regular crew. I might try and organise that. I've talked about this before. Now, any of you who know the area near where I live, or even if you've visited, you might know a place called Monsell Head. Oh, excuse me. Hands up if you know Monsell Head. Anyway, it's a rather lovely scenic spot, and at the top of Monsell Head, there are two like Airbnb places, except they're massive. They're like small mansion houses, and they're holiday lets. And we could all fit in one of those. We could rent one of those for a Saturday night, and we could all meet up there, stay the night, get very drunk, cook, eat, and then go out driving the next day when, you know, the correct amount of time after all of the alcohol had subsided. Or we could all go for a walk on the Monsell Trail. Something like that. I'd love to have a get together with all of you. It would be so much fun. I mean, imagine doing this, but actually doing it in person. That would be brilliant. Right. Oh gosh, I've missed a few. Right, so Rob's home, the car drove perfectly, that's brilliant. Nice car that, Rob says, Skik, it's a fabulous car. Simone says, my garage couldn't fix my brakes and I made the horn louder. Yep, that'll work. Hey all, says Ross, Dinosaur Dad, of course. Just popping in on the drive to work. Excellent, thank you for joining us, we appreciate it. Yay, says Joe, Fanny arrived safely. I'm not reading that out, Mike. I'll unhide it. I'm not reading it out. Bloody hell. Yeah, and I'm not reading that out either, Black Lines. Neil's back. Sorry, had to sign off shift and have tea. Not a problem. A meet can be arranged, Boaty, says Cheeseburger. Honestly, I would love that. I would love to spend a lunchtime, a long boozy lunchtime, or a good evening with you lot. It would be hilarious. Stephen S. Paul says, two antennas met on a roof, fell in love and got married. The ceremony wasn't much, but the reception was excellent. Oh God, I like that one. What does an aeroplane and a bleached blonde have in common? They both have black boxes. Correct, Skig. And that is why, back in my day, we used to call them aeroplane blondes. You know, and I used to say, you've got such beautiful blonde hair. Why do you go to all of the trouble of dyeing the roots black? I mean, you probably couldn't say that now. It would be deemed as abuse. Oh, God, it's almost wine time. That's exciting, isn't it? there's a feature for the second hour of this show. Things that you could say back in the day that you can't say now. So, for example, I once met a lady, was introduced to a lady for the first time, and she was quite well endowed in the chest region. I'm sure you understand where I'm going with that. And without thinking, I said, "Hello, lovely to meet all three of you." Now, she didn't take offence at that. She laughed. She thought it was funny. I bet you if I said that now, I'd get a smack in the chops. Oh, is it really, Barry? That's nice. Monsell Head is where I got engaged. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, this is an old one, Black Lines. Bought a TV for £1 with a stuck volume knob. I thought, I can't turn that down. I'd love to meet you all, says Joe. I'm not an organ donor, but I once gave a piano to the Salvation Army. God, they're getting worse. I would love to come to a meet-up, says Jaden, but sadly I'm not old enough to drink. Well, that's all right. You can be the responsible adult. God, could you imagine all of us spending the night in a big old holiday let? What the hell would happen? God, it would be funny, wouldn't it? Oh dear. Oh God, this is why I love Mike. Fuck off, Boaty. I've met you. Never again. Yeah, well, the feeling's mutual, mate. Right. Pingu wants one explained. 2 nuns in a bath. Where's the soap? I've led a sheltered life. Well, I mean, the proper joke is there are 2 nuns in the bath, and one of them says, "Where's the soap?" And the other one says, "Yes, it does, doesn't it?" 2 nuns riding bicycles, and one says, "Oh, I've never come this way before." And the other one said, "Me neither. It must be the cobbles." I'm not reading that one, sounds vintage. I can just about read that one. Oh, right, 2 of you have got the same thing. I definitely can't read that one, Barry. That is outrageous. Barry says, as long as the cuffs and collar match. And Cheeseburger also says, black box. We used to call it matching cuffs and collar, which reminds me of Tiffany. Yeah, I definitely can't read that one, Barry. What's the difference between... Oh, hang on. What's the difference between an oral thermometer and a rectal one? The taste. Now, I'm not reading that one out either, Cheeseburger. And no, I wouldn't. That's an outrageous slur. Oh, God, is it wine o'clock yet? You lot drive me to drink, and I'm very grateful to you for that. Oh, I forgot to put the wine in the freezer. Oh, God, I'm hopeless. Never mind. We're going to have a not as cool as it could be. Oh, and I should say, before I go on, not only did the lovely Rob buy us lunch, he also bought me this rather splendid bottle of wine without a screw top. And he bought Mustard some rather nice looking beers. So that was exceedingly kind of him. And quite frankly, given the price he got the car for, no less than he damn well ought to have done. But thank you, Rob, and thank you for your company today. It was great fun. Dee. Oh, and if you're interested in which vehicle Rob was transported in, I mean, obviously he went home in Fanny, but it was the Honourable Shison in which Rob was transported. both to the Yard of Dreams and to lunch. I drove to lunch today, which is quite an unusual thing. Cheers, darlings, your very good health. Oh, still got the Vimto taste in my mouth. That didn't taste right. Never mind, the Vimto will soon get washed away. You know how it goes. Splendid. Oh, God, that's nice. What's better, the first sip of wine in the evening or the first sip of coffee in the morning? Excuse me. Right, where did I get to? Oh, that is disgusting, Barry. That is outrageous. Oh, God. The bots are going to read this and I'm going to get thrown off YouTube. A night with Boaty, says Stephen S. Paul. I'd want danger money. What do you give a man who has everything, says Simone? Antibiotics. Oh, this is a good old one. Did you hear about the man with 5 penises? His pants fitted like a glove. Oh, thank you, Rob. Donate 1 kidney and you're a hero. Donate 10 and it's all, where did you get these kidneys from? And you have the right to remain silent, but it may harm your defence. Black Lion says, thought I had a 12-inch knob, turns out it's a foot. Title, did you hear the Archers? I have a horrible taste in my mouth. Shison is a lovely... God. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Oh, God. Oh, you lot, what are you like? What are you like? Oh, dear me. This makes me laugh. That's a good one as well. Jaden says, I hope I will be a famous YouTuber like you one day, Boaty. God, me, famous. Dear me. As YouTubers go, well, I mean, I barely qualify as a YouTuber, do I? But I don't think by any stretch of the imagination, you could call me even remotely famous. I mean, how big a YouTuber would you have to be before you got properly called famous? I mean, who's the biggest one we know who's kind of attached to our community? It's going to be James, isn't it? It's going to be JM on Cars. He's kind of one of us. Slightly on the fringe, but, he talks to us. He's a nice guy. Mustard's filmed with him. I will be. Now, he's got upwards of, I can't remember, but he's certainly got over 250,000 subscribers, hasn't he? But I bet you he can walk down the street without being recognised. So, that's an interesting one. How big would you have to be on YouTube to be genuinely called famous? I mean, I suppose that's whether it's famous to the general public or famous to more of a clique or community. Because, I mean, within the classic car community, Mustard's famous, isn't he? So's Joseph Lloyd. Hubnut certainly is. Matt certainly is. James definitely is. Oh, and this was the other one that tickled me. I invented a new word, says Sans Vintage. Plagiarism. Yeah. Oh dear. Cheeseburger is quite correct when he says he isn't. What? Hang on. I'm not reading that out. Get 30 views a year. What? You're famous if you get 30 views a year. Well, I think we all are then, aren't we? This is brilliant. This is brilliant, Black Lines. I bought the I bought the world's worst thesaurus. Not only is it shit, it's shit. And that is genuinely funny. I'm going to remember that one and use it myself. That's my favourite so far. I love that one. Cheeseburger asks, is a hubby associated with us? Oh God, I don't know. Is he? Well, kind of indirectly, I suppose. I mean, not with me, certainly. I've never met him. I'm sure he doesn't know who I am. Although, thanks to the efforts of you, he does keep reading my name out in live streams. I think it was Ben who got the last mention in, telling him that I'd taken over Joseph Lloyd's 45. Yeah, I got a mention from both of them, Carly as well. He's not really associated with us, is he? I mean, he likes Paul. He gets on with mustard. But then I guess everybody likes mustard, don't they? Feature number 17. Do you know anybody who doesn't like mustard? And I mean Captain Mustard. I don't mean the condiment. Captain Condiment. But yeah, no, I don't think hubby is really associated with us, is he? I'm not sure that he would enjoy our way of doing things. I don't know the man. I just get the impression that I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I get the impression he wouldn't have a kind of boy's sense of humour. And when I say boys, I mean that sense of humour. I mean, you know, when we have a laugh together, it's men and women. So, Skik says nearly 5k subscribers and 34 watching at this time is pretty good. I was chuffed with the 34 watching, still on 31. Those are good numbers for me, and at this time of night. And I'm delighted to be knocking on for the 5,000. So I'm being attacked by a flying. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. Excuse me. I'll put the heating on for 2 minutes. It's a bit nippy. So I'll just knock that back off. I mean, how ridiculous is it that we're putting the heating on in August? But, I mean, it's bloody cold here. And when I got in, there was a real chill to the cottage. And I thought I'll just put the, you know, walls, damp, whatever. And I thought I'll just put the heating on for a little while just to take the chill off, and I forgot to turn it off. But I've done it now. Stephen S. Paul says, does anyone know anything about Simcas? One of the cars I bought is a 1971 Simca 1204 5-door. From a distance, I thought it was one of those land crabs, but no, it's a Simca. I know very little about them, to be honest. In fact, probably to be more accurate, nothing. But I'm sure one of these clever people knows something or other. Is anyone else joining JM for Shedfest? Asks Adam. I didn't know anything about it. My uncle's dying wish, says Simone, was to have me sat on his knee. He was in the electric chair at the time. Oh, French Rockbox, says Cheeseburger. Yeah, that's rung a bell, and I've just remembered what they are. Hang on. Oh, that's quite good. If we get depressed, says Bad Books, remember the words of a famous man. It's easy enough to be pleasant when life rolls along like a song, but a man's worthwhile if he can smile when everything's going wrong. That's rather good, and there's some truth in that. A new restaurant has opened, says Sounds Vintage. You don't get a menu, you get what you deserve. Oh God, what's that? The Karma restaurant. Hang on. No, I'm not reading that one. Yeah, well, that doesn't make sense, Stephen S. Paul. Not this one, Cheeseburger. It's a one family-owned car, 40,000 original miles, all paperwork from new. I might crush it though. Hey, if it's that nice a car, why on God's green earth would you crush it? What's the matter with you? You can't crush it, says Cheeseburger. It's a classic. Cheeseburger says, hubby is teetotal. Can't be one of us. Well, yeah. Gosh. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being teetotal. Alcohol can be a dangerous thing in the wrong hands. I wouldn't knock anybody for choosing not to drink, he said, pouring a glass of wine. And Mustard mentioned this the other day. Can't remember if it was on a video or not. But we have a jolly good laugh together and have been doing for 16 months or something, and we've never had an alcoholic drink. So, you know, obviously you don't need to have a drink to have fun. And maybe the lovely Ian would be fabulous company, you know, whether he was having a drink or not, maybe. You know, maybe you don't always get a real glimpse into what people are like from their YouTube persona. Mr. Lloyd, in my eyes, comes across as quite serious and quite formal on his YouTube videos, whereas in person and in real life he's very funny. So, you know, maybe not everybody in real life, when they're relaxed, when they're not on camera, is exactly the same as as they are in their YouTube channel. I mean, not me. I'm an arsehole on my when I'm on camera, and I'm an arsehole in real life, as many of you have found out to you. Oh, this is interesting. Now, this is interesting to me. John Maruzzi says, I rode on a Pacer train on the Wensleydale Railway yesterday. And that is something that we don't talk about enough on this channel and on these live streams. Trains. I love trains. I'm the typical man who hasn't grown up, and I love railways. I love heritage railways. I love the French heritage railways, where they keep the line, they don't rip the line up, and instead of running trains on it, they run velo rails, which are like little train cars that you pedal. 4 of you can sit, you can all pedal, and you pedal along the heritage railway. I love that. And most of all, I love mountain railways. But yeah, I'm not like a nerdy train spotter type. I just do love a railway. And the Pacer, I know what a Pacer is, and that is a jolly interesting train. If I remember correctly, the Pacer is the train that was initially run or trialled on that tiny little line. Oh God, where is it? In the Black Country somewhere, or in the West Midlands, one of the shortest lines. Somewhere near Starbridge. Somebody will know. Radioactive cats have 18 half-lives, says Simone. Ollie Owls, my friend Steve. My mum's first car was a Simca 1100 K-Reg in turquoise. Hashtag fact. All right. We weren't doubting you, Steve. We do believe you. Oh, this is interesting. Blackline says, I find it genuinely bizarre that normal people like you and Mustard, who are actually entertaining, well, thank you for that, genuinely struggle for views, and some of the worst example of human beings get millions of views. That is an interesting one, actually, and it's probably something that we should revisit, because I know that lots of you guys who watch have got channels of your own, and you know, I guess that on some level, even if we're just doing it for a bit of fun like me, on some level, when we start a YouTube channel, we all hope that, you know, even if it's a little tiny hope, we all hope that it will go somewhere. And I guess the ultimate dream would be to have a channel that meant that you were all rich and famous and could earn your living from doing it. So, what is it that makes that difference? What is it that helps the Hubnuts or the Matts or the James of this world? How do they get to those heights, and what are the rest of us doing wrong? Or is it just a case of perseverance? Because those big channels, they've been going a long time. We were talking about timescales today. Was it in the live or was it over lunch? I can't remember which. Mustard's been going for 3 years. I've been going seriously for about a year now. Whereas Hubnut's been going for, oh God, how long is it? How long is it? It's 10 years, something like that. So, do you achieve that growth by just longevity? Just by hanging around for years and years and years? Or is there some special magic that the big channels have got, and that the rest of us, no matter how hard we try, will just never be able to replicate? I'd genuinely be interested in your thoughts on that. And I think that we should regularly, I've touched on it before, but we should swap our tips or ideas for how to improve your YouTube channel if you have one. And even if you haven't got a channel, you can jolly well have an input on that, because you will decide what you watch. So, what makes you watch what you watch, if that makes sense? And what is it about a video or a channel that makes you watch one video and think, I would like to watch more of this, I will hit that subscribe button? That'd be a good thing to talk about. Now then, back to the comments. And we're back to Steve, whose mother upgraded from the Simca to a T-Reg Chrysler Horizon in Sweetcorn in 1979. I thought it was a Talbot Horizon. Surely it was a Talbot back in those days, wasn't it? But I remember the Horizon very well. That was, yeah, that was kind of, it was very squarish. Well, I liked the Horizon. And what I liked about it, in all honesty, I liked the stalks. I liked the steering wheel stalks on the Horizon. Excuse me. And Stephen S. Paul says, cheeseburger, it's not up to me, talking about crushing the Simca. It's the bosses. I might buy it. This is a rust-free Arizona car, always garaged. He won't crush it. One owner, for goodness sake, says Mike. Oh my God, it's 11:12, says Sophie. I too don't drink tea, says Adam. I love a cup of tea, says Sophie. Why are we talking about tea? Have I missed a comment? Oh, teetotal. Okay, I get it. I was a bit slow there, wasn't I? Mike says, I'm teetotal, never had a drink. Why don't I believe that? I don't know if Mike's being serious there or not. He might be, for all I know. God, can you imagine that? Think of all the money you'd save, and you'd never have a hangover, and you could be up and be productive in the morning. Cheeseburger says there has to be a business importing Stephen's rejects from the dry states. There could be. We should club together. We should do that. Blackline says, I don't really drink anymore. A whiskey on special occasions maybe, but yeah, I don't really bother. Fair play to you. I'll have your share. Cheeseburger says, Ollie, Steve, my mum had a Horizon and it was my first daily. Gearbox like rice pudding and the engine sounded like a sewing machine. And Steve remembers the 1.3 Horizon engine being very noisy. Oh God, Stephen S4, 1967 Cortina. Oh, something I need to tell you. Cortina 1600 two-door, purchased from a local farmer, 4-cylinder, 4-speed, blue on blue. 51,508 original miles. Engine turns but won't start. Arizona car, same owner since 1971. And mic's off. Good night, Jason. Good night, humans. Be nice. Another load of toss, but I love it. Take care, Mike. Always great to have you, mate. I saw there's a car that lives by the restaurant. Now, I don't know if I've just never noticed it before because it lives on a driveway, or whether it's a newly acquired car. I genuinely don't know. I just happened to be driving past the other night when it was reversing onto the drive, and I had to look twice because I don't remember this being a thing, right? And I'll tell you what it was in one moment. I genuinely don't remember this being a thing, and I meant to Google it, but I forgot, and one of you lot will know. So, right, we're talking Ford Granada. So, I'm not sure what mark it was. I mean, the original Granada was the Sweeney car, wasn't it? I think it was a brown one in the Sweeney. And they did a coupe version of that, which I'd forgotten about until now, but it's actually one of my favourite looking cars of all time, the original Granada coupe. That actually looked good in brown with a tan vinyl roof. So, not that one, but the one that came after. Is it a Mark II? And there was probably a facelift, Mark III. I don't know. One of you guys will know. Oh, God. So, yeah, but you know what I mean. I think it came in the late 70s, went through the 80s. You know the one I mean, the square, angular Ford Granada. You're with me, yeah? You are with me. You know, around the same time as the Mark IV, Mark V Cortina. You know the one I mean. It must be a Mark II, mustn't it? Because the original would have been the Mark I, this would have been the Mark II. And then maybe they were facelifted, I know. Maybe that counts as a Mark III. Anyway, the point is, I saw an early one of those two-door. Now, have I just forgotten that that was a thing? Is anybody else aware of two-door Granada of that ilk, that time? Because I genuinely wasn't aware of it. Let me know, please. And right, we're all saying good night to excellent. Here we are. Cheeseburger. I knew you'd know. Good on you, Cheeseburger. Pacer, self-propelled train between Starbridge Junction and somewhere else, possibly Starbridge. Funny looking thing. Yeah, I remember researching this, and there's a weird little line, and I think you're right, Starbridge Junction, and yeah, that's where the Pacer operated, and it's a really funky looking train, and I would love to have a go on one. So I need to find out where the Wensleydale Railway is, if that's where one lives. We should have a drive and train day. We should all drive to a heritage railway and all meet up and go on the train. That would be fun. And then have a picnic or a Momo cookout. Trains are brilliant, says Joe. I enjoy them too. I'm looking forward to my trip up on Sunday. We're all looking forward to that, Joe. Pingu says, are you still in touch with the Bigfoot guy with the Jeep? Yeah, I am, Pingu. We're Facebook friends. I read all of his posts. He's an interesting guy. He's getting ready to go on a camping holiday that he's looking forward to very much. We're saying goodnight to Mike. Black Line says goodnight. He's off to bed. So we're saying goodnight to those who are leaving. And then Michael Burrows is here and says, hiya, how are you? Can you show your socks, please? If you can, please. And could you take one sock off slowly and let me see, please? Let me just work through the comments, Michael, and I'll come back to you, sir. Skick says constant content must be part of it, and that's why you have passed mustard subscribers. Now that, Skick, that I agree with very much. Now I think there are many ways that you can achieve success on YouTube, or at least there's more than one way. Now, if you can do amazing content, then, you know, of course, that is one way. If you're a beautiful woman with breasts, then, and you jiggle them about a bit, that is another way, etc., etc. But I think, and this is what I did with my singles network, I agree with Skick that the continuity and the constancy is important. Your content might not be brilliant, but I think that you need to get yourself into people's doings, their lives, on kind of a daily basis. And if you do that, you will get some, especially if you, because, right, we're all human, we're all in the same boat, or we're all in different boats, enduring the same choppy waters, whatever. And I think that if you put yourself out there, and if you're relatively open and whatnot, and you just get yourself out there all the time, then people, some people at least, will take an interest. So if you can't do it on content alone, do it on constancy and openness, because if you're out there genuinely as you, and you're out there all the time, then I think that helps, and Skick does too. And the other thing that you can do is, you know, open yourself up to community, and so that it's not all about you, and it's about other people. It's like now, Hubnut doesn't need to do that so much. He can do it on content alone, whereas I didn't have the content when I started. Well, God knows I still don't. But I am willing to give up a bit of time to sit here and waffle on while you lot have a chat amongst yourselves and ignore me, and try and do a bit of a community thing. So, interesting point from Skink, sorry. Sounds Vintage says, my channel is 11 years old and I've not hit 1k subs. Niche subject. Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. I suppose some content is going to be very niche and it's going to have limited reach, I suppose. Cheeseburger says, longevity grows YouTube. Also, unique videos. Furious Matt drives a different car every week. Hubby drove the bus yesterday. Yeah, I'd love to do stuff like that. I really would love to do stuff like that. I need to drive my own different cars more often. That's what I need to do. Just one sock off slowly and let me see, please. Michael, that is the sort of thing that I would do for my supporters, the people who support me with by being channel members and bung me the odd super chat and stuff like that. So with the best will in the world, I can't go out giving special favours to you when I haven't done it for them. So God. I'll tell you what, Michael, here's the deal, right? If you gift a channel membership to one of my lovely viewers who otherwise might not be able to afford it, and a top level channel membership, a connoisseur, if you give a channel membership gift to one of my viewers, I will show you what you want to see. That way you get what you want and one of my viewers gets something out of it too. So there you go. That is the deal, sir. Johnny Two Scoobs is here. Gosh, he's a rare visitor to these shores. Frequent content, but videos that are no longer than about 15 minutes. Oh, Chrysler sold out to Talbot. Did they? Did they, Steve? Because Chrysler are like a massive outfit that are still going. And Talbot were a little French firm that are nowhere to be seen. Weren't Talbot and Simca basically the same company? Or weren't they allied or something? I can't believe, is that right? Talbot surely didn't buy out Chrysler. Chrysler are huge. The other way round, maybe. Oh, and Johnny Two Scoops says, hello, by the way. Hello to you, mate. How are you? Steve says, I'm not wearing socks, so I cannot assist. Adam says, I'll watch any video with a shocked person pointing at a red circle with the video name, something like top 5 things you'll never believe. Number 5 will leave you shocked. Oh God, yeah, those clickbait things, I hate those, but they are lamentably easy to click on. Oh, it's another channel member. Frank says, hi Boaty and hello to you. Cheeseburger says, Hillman sold to Chrysler. They sold to Talbot. Early Sunbeams and Horizons were Chrysler. Sold here as the Plymouth Horizon, says Stephen S. Paul, and the Dodge Omni. Oh gosh. Oh, well done, Simone. Simone's got over 100 quid now towards a new welder. Good on you. Cheeseburger says 1967 Cortina. So Mark 1, is it a GT? If so, that's valuable. And it's a 1600 Deluxe. That's got to be worth a few quid. Cheeseburger says the original Sweeney Granada was a console. God, was it? Oh God, don't confuse me anymore. Yeah, but it went on to be rebadged as a Granada, didn't it? Maybe not that exact car, but I mean the model. The console kind of became the Granada. I've had my channel since 2008, says Simone. Didn't do anything with it until about 2015. The Cortina still probably has more value in Europe, says Cheeseburger. Oh, it is a Granada Mark II. Thank you, Bad Books. The Mark II was Cowley's card in the professionals, says Cheeseburger. Oh, and two-door was the poverty model early on. Now, it did look like a poverty model, but I either didn't know or just forgot that there was such a thing as a two-door Granada. I know there was in the Mark I, there was the coupe, but I don't remember ever seeing a two-door Mark II Granada before. And it looked all right, actually. Well, it looked more than all right. Do you know what? It actually had a bit of the look of the Fiat 130 coupe about it. You know, not exactly the same, but it had that sort of vibe going for it. In my opinion, says Pingu, Hubby and Furious Matt's channels both grew rapidly during the first lockdown. I'm sure that's true, Pingu, but even by the first lockdown, they'd both been going for a while already, hadn't they? But I'm sure that helped. Super Chat £10 says Joe and he will do the full-on feet show. I'd do anything for £10. Oh, and Cheeseburger agrees with Pingu, as did Petrol Ped. They all grew when there wasn't much car content on YouTube. Bad Book says Joseph's friend Rubbish Mechanic, that's Mr. Coleman, has a lovely Mark II Granada Estate Gear X manual. Lovely car, it is indeed. Socks, says Cheeseburger. I'm a channel member. Get him off. Oh, God, Cheeseburger, what are you like? Skick says Simone is a good example. Brilliant ASMR presenter and overall a good YouTuber, but not enough content. There you go, Simone. That's you told. I do agree that you're an excellent presenter, though, so I definitely agree with Skick on that one. Bad Book says, Stephen, a rust-free two-door Mark I Cortina would be worth big bucks here. It would, regardless of spec. Ripe for conversion to a Lotus Cortina. Oh, gift me the membership, says Johnny Two Scoops. Johnny, because you might not have been here earlier, memberships are now available for just 99p. There's a new tier of channel membership, and the City Rover tier is just 99p. And in exchange for your 99p, you get the feeling of satisfaction from knowing that you're supporting me and I'm a jolly nice chap. You get your name in green, you get highlighted comments, you get a little badge next to your name, you get immediate access to the daily diary videos, you don't have to wait a week, and sod all else. But, you know, that's more than enough for 99p, isn't it? And I did buy you lunch, sir. Talbot and Hillman, says Kick. I only come here when I'm pissed, says Johnny. Oh, right, fair enough. Me too, I'm the same. Yeah, I only rock up here when I'm drunk. Nothing better to do. Adam says... Adam says, I would hate to get a channel membership like that. Leave the innocent chat out of your transactions. Cheeseburger says, Chrysler sold European operations, mainly due to issues with the Scottish factory making Imps and Ryton. Alan Jones is here and says, good evening, and good evening to you, Alan Jones. Consul GT was the cheaper variant of the Granada for a year or two. Pingu says, by being on the tube pretty much every day, it's like we're neighbours. Despite the distance, we keep up to date with each other's lives, no matter how mundane. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in that. So, yeah. I mean, if you can put out amazing content that you only need to put out once a week or whatever, and you can become massive by doing that, great. I mean, if you're doing big old full production videos, then you probably need a week to make them. I'm sure it takes a while for James to put his masterpieces together. But yeah, if you're just doing the more mundane stuff, do it all the time. Do it regularly. And my advice, for what it's worth, would be, don't try and be too professional. Be more yourself than trying to be professional. And just share a bit of yourself, because that's what people will warm to. If they wanted professional broadcasting, they'd be watching Netflix or television or something. If they're watching YouTube, then they want to see you personality, a bit of that. So yeah, show that. Don't try and be all overly polished or anything of that nature. I think people will always warm to people, won't they? Was the Granada white? No, it was like a radiant red, and it was an early one. It looked like it was like about a 78 car, something like that. Now, I don't know if I'm imagining this, or was it on an S plate? I might be imagining that. New film just posted, Skick, says Simone. Oh, God. Oh, cheeseburgers on one tonight. 99p membership. Are you launching a 69p option? No, I'm not. 99p is the lowest that YouTube will let you charge. I couldn't go any lower. Does the 99p membership come with a flake? Video title. Screenshot that. City Rover tier it is then, says Johnny. Genius name for it. I thought so. Simone, I totally get this. I have anxiety and depression. I struggle to make content. I totally get that. But could it help? Could it help with that? I think from previous discussions, you're aware that you're by no means alone in suffering from those twinned things. They tend to go hand in hand, don't they? And maybe doing the content could help with that in some way. It certainly helps me, or at the very least, excuse me, sorry darlings, it's getting to that time of night where I just become the amazing Burt man. The wine's kicking in, darlings. Oh God, I'm looking forward to my curry tonight. I've got brilliant curry tonight. I won't even tell you about it because you'll be jealous. It's amazing and I can't wait. I'm really going to enjoy it. I'm tempted to keep the live going until I eat it. And I can eat it you live. That wouldn't be a pretty sight. It's going to be, what, 1 o'clock by the time that I eat. I've got a bit of work to do. I'll finish this at midnight, then I've got some work to do before work is. But yeah, the anxiety and depression thing. Simone, I know that you live alone, as do I, and that loneliness, well, even if you're not lonely, maybe that's the wrong word. That solitude, is that fair? That can really, if not cause, then it can exacerbate the anxiety and depression, because being around other people can mitigate it. And I'm sure you've all experienced that. I'm sure you've all, you know, had a little bit of a downtime or a little bit of a down day, and then you've met a group of friends and they've cheered you up, right? I bet we can all, well, this can be the same thing. Exactly what I'm doing here. I'm no different to anybody else. I mean, you know, I love my life. I have a great life, but you know, I'm alone. I have no family. I'm quite relatively isolated here at Windybum, and I used to find Mondays quite difficult. I'll be honest, because Monday was a day off. I wasn't getting my human company at the restaurant, and especially in winter, I found that I could quite easily become a little depressed on a Monday evening. I would go to the shop, I would go to the supermarket, fill the time in somehow. But, you know, I don't vacuously sit and watch television. As you know, I don't have a television. And I genuinely did find Mondays quite difficult. Well, guess what? I bloody don't now, do I? I go out and I have a fabulous day with my mate Mustard, and whoever else rocks up to the Yard of Dreams. And then I come home and I've got you lot. And you take me right through until it's time for me to eat and fall asleep. So that's a long reply to a short statement, but I think that creating content can actually help with anxiety and depression and, you know, numerous other social or mental health conditions. Just my take on it. I could be wrong. The Mark II Granada was probably a 2-litre sized cheeseburger. Diddly-do, diddly-do, diddly-do. We all love your channel, Simone Says Cheeseburger, and that's true. There's a lot of love for Simone here, and we all really rate you as a presenter, myself included, Simone, and that's not buttering you up because you're watching. I've said privately to Mustard that I watched one of your videos or a video where you were interviewed, and I thought you were brilliant. I thought you were absolutely brilliant, and you know, purely based on your ability as a presenter, I think you should do more. But if it doesn't suit you to do more, then of course you shouldn't. But in terms of just getting yourself on camera and presenting, I think you're really good. Really good. Much better than me. But then pretty much everybody is. I'm just loud and I bluster and I just keep putting out rubbish until you can't take it anymore. I think it's basically Stockholm Syndrome, the relationship that you and I have got. I think that for whatever reasons, you poor people have been sucked into this little bit of madness of mine, and now it's just Stockholm Syndrome. You've kind of been brainwashed into thinking that it's all right for you to be sitting and watching this terrible rubbish that I inflict on you day after day after day. I did enjoy. I really enjoyed last night's Daily Diary. Just coming home and doing a couple of nonsense bits that I always do when I'm in the car on my own, or not just in the car. I talk to myself, not talking to myself in a weird way. I just say nonsense things. It's just one of the things that I do. And last night I just recorded them. I wasn't doing them on purpose. I was just doing the sort of thing that I do in the car all the time. I do it around the house as well. And I just happened to record them. And I really enjoyed that. They just made me laugh. I mean, I just get ridiculous ideas in my head and stuff. And for some reason, when I was driving home last night, I was trying to imagine what it would be like if... You've probably all seen it because I put it out there as a live. I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady, and I just do stuff like that all the time, and it was really fun to put it onto a daily diary and then to put it on out as a short. I've not dared look at the stats for that short because I will have had so many dislikes for that I know my percentage will have plummeted. I just got it back up to 98.6%. Oh yeah, so if you could all like this live stream, please, I would be most awfully grateful. And any other video you watch, if you weren't aware, then every YouTuber has got a ratio of likes to dislikes. And the higher that is, the more likely your stuff is to be shared. And if you put out shorts, you get views, you get subscribers, but you get a lot of people who just dislike them. Maybe it's popped up on their feed, it's not something they wanted to see, and it kills your percentage. So I was, I always, for ages and ages, I was always over 99%. Then due to putting out a series of shorts, I went down to, well, and Boaty's bogs. To be honest, I don't think Boaty's bogs helped my percentage at all. And I went down to 98.5, and then I got up to 98.6. And I bet you I'm back down to 98.5 now after putting that bloody short out last night. Would the real Slim Shady please bend over? Oh dear. Where did I get to? Where did I get to? Oh, that's where I got to. Sounds Vintage says, Simone, I see you just published a video a moment ago. I'll take a look tomorrow. Johnny Two Scoop says, that's what I like about you and Mustard. You are who you are, warts and all, absolutely. Skick says, Simone is without doubt my favourite channel. I think you're ace, Simone. And then Mustard, very carefully with 8 minutes to go. Mustard comes in and says, hey cats, because Mustard is cool. Mustard is the cool kid at school who wore his duffel coat inside out to show that he was separate and different. We did that. Do you remember those, not duffel coats, I don't mean that, I mean parkas. Right, at school, everybody had a parka, right? A blue parka. It was like the law, everybody had one. Every parent bought their child a parka. And because we were the cool gang at school, we turned ours inside out, and only we were allowed to do it, to show that we were the cool gang. But yeah, Mustard has joined us with 8 minutes of this to go. It might have been more when he joined us, in fairness, but good evening, Mustard. How the devil are you? I'm just eating some dead chicken, says Mustard. You're not allowed to eat dead chicken. You're on a beef and horseradish diet. Keeping busy and your mind active, says Joe, will help with depression. We all love your channel, Simone. Keep up the great content. Hey up, Mustard, says Johnny. Just check Wiki, says Cheeseburger. Pictures of Mark II Granada two-door on there. It says many were taxis. Well, not the two-door, surely. Oh, I forgot to ask Jason, did the spider come alive that Paul killed? Yes, it did. Evening, Mustard, says Cheeseburger. For me, says Sans Vintage, there is a time for socialising and a time for solitude. I agree with that as well. I do value my time alone. I value it now when I arguably have more of it, and I certainly valued it when I was with a family man and in a relationship. I tried to earn it. I was always there for my family, for the wife, for the kids. But, you know, if I had an hour to myself when everybody else went to bed, I loved that hour and I made the most of it. But I never allowed my own time to be selfish in that I never took alone time when it could have been family time. Oh, so sorry. I would only take it when they were kipping. Oh, God, got the hiccups now. I have a telly box, says Simone, but I don't use it for telly programmes. I don't have one at all. Hello, everyone, says Mustard. Dead Chicken, that's a new name for it. Reference this afternoon's live. Oh, right, yes. I had dead chicken babies, says Johnny. I used to be very nervous, says Simone. I still am. What's Simone's channel name so we can make sure we're following it too? Good question, Rob. It is one of our community channels, and the channel is called Hooked on Classics. Hooked on Classics. And there's a Facebook group of the same name as well. So yeah, if you're not subscribed to Simone's channel, it is a community channel, and by a community channel I mean that it is a channel owned and maintained by somebody who is a member of our community, and we're trying to make it a community thing. Simone supports me and other channels in the community, and therefore in return we all try and support each other. So I do try and shout out all of the other channels quite regularly, and I'll do so again now. Simone is Hooked on Classics. Who else have we got? We've got Mark on Motoring, we've got Everything Cars, we've got 00 Garage, We've got Project Nigel, Smashing Pistons, of course. Beards and Bangers. We'll include Matt, Furious Driving. Matt is one of us, but I'm sure you're all subscribed to him anyway. Mr. Lloyd, of course, Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. These are all the channels I'm talking about, and if I've missed any, I apologise and I will gladly add it. Oh, right, Hooked on Classics, diddly do. Oh, and Simone says, oh yeah, of course, it's your username, isn't it? Hooked on Classics. Rob, look for The Adventures of TC. And TC is, of course, the rather magnificent Mark, get it right, Mark III Cortina Estate. I really like your vid, Simone says, Johnny, and I'm off to subscribe. Excellent. I used to be quiet and shy, says Stephen Paul, but then I discovered firearms and weapons, and now I'm just ducky. Oh, God. My Parker was green, says Cheeseburger, and melted in front of the gas fire. Oh, dear. Oh, we're trying to find Simone's channel. Try for Cortina Estate. Can't miss TC. And Rob has found her. Jolly good. I can't wait to be welding again, says Simone. And she also has dead crispy chicken in the freezer. I think everyone's channels are fantastic in their own unique way. I agree with that. Right, yes. And you know what, darlings? We are pretty much done. So thank you for everybody. Well, I mean, are we donating to Simone's welder? I don't know, Skik. Right, okay. Yeah, it's time to start saying your good night. We are getting to that time. Does Boaty have a friend upstairs? He's sped up. Right, I'm going to start letting you into some secrets, darlings. I am going to start letting you into some secrets. Normally, I have a friend on a Sunday, and last night I didn't because of the slightly earlier start this morning and some other factors, and the fact that I was having to do a load of work last night. And sometimes that friend will stay for a Monday as well. Or there'll be another friend on a Monday. But I will reveal to you that tonight, zip, nada, zilch, nothing. Tonight, when I'm done with you lovely people, I'm going to do a little bit of work, and then I'm going to deploy this fantastic curry that I've got, and let me tell you, this is genius. This is like a fusion. Oh, that's unusual. I don't usually get a text. Look at that. Look at that. It's amazing. Amazing. I just need to add some chicken and fresh tomato to it. That is very unusually, on Saturday night, all of the staff curry didn't get eaten. And on Sunday night, there was a bit of staff curry left. So we kind of shared it. But what I did is I took the sauce and I made a kind of fusion. So it's staff curry sauce, but with some additional peppers, onion, fresh garlic, and a couple of bits and pieces from the restaurant curries, all mixed in. And I had, I was trying it, I was tasting it. Oh God, it's going to be amazing. I've got some chicken tikka that has defrosted, and that'll be chopped up and that'll go in. I've got steamed white rice, and I've got roti, and I am so looking forward to that. That is going to be epic. So yeah, tonight, no friends upstairs. I'll finish this. I'll crack on with some work. While there's a video or two uploading or rendering, I'll do some washing up. And then about 1 o'clock, I will eat. And then I will no doubt be ready to fall unconscious. And I will stagger upstairs, fall into bed and be really, and I'll be asleep probably before I even get into bed. Tonight is one of those nights where I'll fall asleep actually getting into bed, and I'll be asleep by the time I'm fully in. All right. Who's texting me at this time of night? Oh, okay. Right. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's tonight. And then tomorrow is going to be, I've got so much stuff I want to do. I don't know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. I've not checked. So what's happening tomorrow? I want to do the stereo in Stigbürt. I still haven't done that. I need to turn the Land Rover. I might take the Land Rover to the restaurant tomorrow night. Really needs the wheels turning over. It's been too long. Stigbürt needs turning over as well, and I need to sort the stereo. I need to book the windscreen replacement with the insurance company, so I need to do that. I need to swap an insurance policy over, and the policy that is currently insuring Derek, I need to swap that onto Mingebag. In a bit of a complicated, so I need to do that. Tuesday's kind of a lazy day. I don't film anything apart from the daily diary on Tuesday, and I don't really have to edit much. Well, I didn't have to edit anything at all. Well, the daily diaries obviously all go out tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So that's the 1919 video, except that there's 7 of them. So I don't have to worry about that. I just have to schedule them. The daily diary will get edited in the morning, and that will go out. And today's daily diary, I think, I kind of didn't do much in the afternoon because we were all doing other stuff. So the daily diary is going to be just heading down to the train station, but then I think it's going to be the journey to and from getting lunch. So that'll be the normal nonsense, you know, perping. But of course we got Rob in the back seat, bless him. All of our guests end up in the back seat. That's very. Oh, they didn't always. I was in the back of Nigel one time, and Liz was in the front. So yeah, I have done my bit. And then Wednesday, all being well, Mustard and I will be off on another road trip to go and hopefully buy a car. So yeah, I need to relax. Anyway, that's enough of that. You don't need to know about all of that, do you? Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Read the comments, say good night, play some fart music, get on with some work, and let these good people go to bed. I'm so grateful for your company tonight. The numbers tonight have been really brilliant. I'm really excited about that. Thank you to those of you who have taken up channel memberships tonight, and thank you to all of those who have done so recently, or those of you who did so less recently but you've kept maintaining them. Thank you, it means the world to me. And yeah, thank you for taking this time. It's been a good one. I've really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to do it all with you again tomorrow. So read the comments, bugger off. That is now the plan. Where did I get to? Oh yeah, there. Tonight it's DIY. No, I can't be bothered with that, mate. Can't be bothered with that. It's wine, supper and sleep tonight. None of that nonsense. Johnny says, good night everyone, enjoy tonight, I'm glad. Oh, looks lovely, says Joe. No wonder you aren't interested in the Archers on a Sunday if you have company, says Cheeseburger. Why do you think I don't do a live on a Sunday? Video title, upstairs, downstairs. Will you sod off, says Cheeseburger. I need a pee. Busy week ahead by the sounds of it. Yes, Joe, it's always busy now. Good night, everyone. Night all says Rob. Rob, happy new car day. Thank you for being a great home for Fanny, and he is going to be a great home. He's already bought some of the important bits for her, even before he's collected the car. He's going to be a brilliant owner. And I got to know him, obviously, during a fairly long journey today. I got to know him a lot better. He's a really nice guy. Really nice guy. And yeah, so thank you for taking on Fanny and being a great community home for her. Thank you for today, thank you for your company, thank you for lunch, and thank you for the wine. And on behalf of Mustard, thank you for the beer. And just enjoy the hell out of Fanny before we get to winter. And then enjoy her in winter as well when the weather's not too bad. Brilliant heater. Good night, Merry Christmas everyone, nighty night all, night everyone, good night all. We're all saying good night. Fanny is a cracking car. But there we are, she's still a cracking car, and now she's a cracking community car. Well, I mean, it's Rob's car, obviously, but at least we still get to hear about her, keep in touch, and, you know, hopefully meet up at some meet somewhere. Right, let's go. Let me just sort out the drinks. Oh, I should have done this before. I made this mistake last time, didn't I? Where are we? Oh, and thank you to everybody who made kind comments about the Project Nigel video, including Mustard himself. Thank you very much. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. Okay, I really am going now. Cheeseburger needs a pee. Oh, start again. There you go. Still 26 of you. Wow. And thank you for the likes. You know it makes sense. Oh, cheeseburger! I didn't need to know that. Darlings, thank you again so much. Have a safe and peaceful night, all of you. Take great care of yourselves. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. Much love to you all. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. Toodles, bye-bye. It's not working. There we go.